the news of the day that two of your players, you're the only school to have two players on the Herman Trophy semifinalist of the 15. And just talk to me a little bit about that and those two players.
Oh, we're excited for them, and well-deserved, I think, especially for the season they've both had. I think it's a testament to the team, really, too. You know, you just don't get two players like that recognized if the team hasn't done well. And so we've always constantly stressed how important, you know, it's great to have individual awards, but they don't come about if the team's not doing well. So I think we all share in their excitement, and we're all happy for them. And I hope they both win it.
Yeah. Who do you vote for?
That's not for me to decide. I think they're both terrific. So I would vote for all of my players, actually. So they're good. But both of them have, both Mac and Mo have had tremendous years. And I think both of them would say they've needed one another to have their years too, you know, and they've needed the team. So it speaks well for the team. Like I said, it speaks well for the team that there's two there.
What makes Morgan so good? Because she's not physically big. What makes her such a great player?
Well, I've said this. I think great players are the ones that make others around them great. And I mean, I think there's not a lot she can't do on the field individually, but I think one of her greatest strengths is that she's such a good teammate, and she makes other players look good. She fits into a system, and she's a team player first and foremost. She really cares about winning, and she cares about the team. And you know, I think her role is on our team is really a linking player, somebody that really defends, gets forward. You know, and she's done that extremely well. I don't think you could say she's just as good a defender as she is an attacker. I don't think you could say, well, she just scores goals and she just creates goals. She's been a heck of a defender. I don't think that part of her game gets near enough credit, but I think it's an integral part of her game.
Same thing for Mackenzie. What makes her such a great player that she's one of the top 15 semifinalists?
Well, I think Max, you know, she's always been a goal scorer, and I think that, you know, she's had a terrific year putting the ball in the back of the net for us. She's scored some timely goals for us, and she can score in a variety of ways. I don't think she gets credit for her setup play. And I thought if you look at the Michigan goal that we scored, the first goal where she put the ball through to Morgan, that was a terrific pass. It was up where it needed to be to get away from some feet. It was between two defenders, and it was in front of a goalkeeper. So it had a lot of texture on it. It was a good, accurate pass. And I always say a good pass is one that somebody can finish first time, and Morgan did that. So.
Steve, it looks like during a normal game, everything goes through Morgan. How many times does she touch the ball typically? Do you chart that?
We do, and hopefully she's the one that's getting the ball the most. I think it's the nature of her position, but I also think it's the nature of her role and the nature of her mobility. She's a very mobile player, and like I said, I think she gets a lot of balls in our defensive half as well because she tracks back and works back so hard. You know, I mean, we've tried to put her in a spot that can accentuate her strengths, but also get her the touches that she should have on the ball. You know, she settles the game down for us. She links our team, and you know, she plays centrally where hopefully she can get the ball quite a bit. But she's not scared to make runs forward too. I think she's got a forwards mentality in that regard. So I mean, I think she's handled the year very well, especially with teams keying on her all the time, and you know, a number of defensive alignments just. You know, calculated to try to slow her down, and she's done remarkably well. But I think one of the things that, like I said, that makes her so special is she can utilize other players, and she can use other players, and she brings other players into the game, which we need. You know.
You have been starting 6 seniors, 2 juniors. How much has that experience contributed to the team's success this year?
Well, I think that's been a very important piece. I think we've got players that have played in a number of situations, in a number of pressurized situations, and I think that's been, you know, I think that's one of the keys to our success for sure. And I think the fact that we've got a pretty experienced team overall, especially at the back, I think that's been helpful for us too. So they're experienced not only in terms of on the field, but they're experienced and off the field and handling things academically, emotionally, competitively through the course of the year. And I think that's been important for us and the younger players as well. They've got some good people they can learn from and use as an example.
Taylor, four teams are from the ACC. You had one of the toughest schedules. How does that schedule in the ACC really prepare you for the College Cup?
Well, I think it's prepared us for. I think the non-conference season has prepared us for the conference season. I think the conference season has prepared us for postseason, and hopefully all of this cumulatively has prepared us for the College Cup. But I think we're excited about the game coming up on Friday, and I think UCLA is a very good team, and we'll have to play well to win. But we've had to do that throughout the year, and I think we can take confidence in that. We're playing on a field that we know well. We're playing in an environment that we're familiar with. So these are all positives for us. But the best thing is, I think we can gain confidence from the season we've had, and from the teams that we've played, in looking to this game on Friday.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit more about that matchup in UCLA?
They're good, very good team. They have they don't give up a lot of goals. They've gotten multiple options up top that they can go to. They're an athletic, technical team. And looking at them and looking at what their strengths are, looking at our team, what our strengths are, I think it's going to be. I think it's a great college soccer game, and I think the fans hopefully are in for a treat. But I think they will be. I think it's going to be a good matchup.
Virginia is the only school that was represented in both the men's and women's quarterfinals, and the men are obviously a win away from the Final Four. Does your program benefit indirectly if Georgia's does well, and vice versa? Do you think if UVA soccer does well?
I think so. I think the more soccer you can have in the public realm, I think is a good thing for your program. I would say that about all the sports here. I think Virginia basketball does well. I think that helps the University of Virginia. It helps the University of Virginia women's soccer team. But I think in the soccer world, in the soccer community, which is relatively small in speaking, I think both teams doing well can only be good for both programs and the university as a whole. So we've always been very grateful for the kind of athletic department we have and how well all the programs are represented at the national level, and I think that benefits everybody. I think that's been a good thing. So to the extent that we can help the University of Virginia, we're certainly proud of that.
I didn't really realize it until listening to you on the radio with Dave Kane and George last night. But you and George, pretty close over the years, and I guess you share each other's successes and give each other advice all the time and that kind of thing. Well,
it's hard sometimes. Sometimes you live in your own little world in your sport and your program. I've been at other schools where it almost seems like a mini corporation. Where your office is, and it might be removed from other coaches and those sorts of things. But the thing I like about Virginia so much is you have the ability to interact with your peers on a consistent basis. George and I, prior to our kids getting involved in soccer, we talked a lot, and we've shared a lot of ideas and thoughts and things on the game. But I think one of the things that happened to both of us, our sons are the same age, exactly the same age, and so we've been coaching together for a long time. It kind of brought us together, coaching our boys, and certainly George's daughter, Sunny, has also been involved in that. So I think there was a spell of maybe 5 years there where we would go from the college soccer field to the youth soccer field and be spending a lot of weekends together. So that was fun and enjoyable, and it was good to coach alongside of each other there, and just to hear each other's philosophies and those kinds of things. And
Exchange ideas.
yeah, I think you do. I mean, it's kind of, you get down to the brass tacks when you coach youth soccer, and you get down to the real fundamentals. And so that was a good thing. I think we both found out a lot about each other. We found out the nitty gritty, so to speak, of the principles of the game, which, you know, that's really what the game's all about anyway. So it was good for both of us. So certainly good for me. And I take a lot of stock in the time that we've spent together on the youth coaching fields. And I think it's transferred, obviously, into the college realm as well.
Pretty cool that you're the only school with the men and the women's program.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, again, I think that's just, it's a good reflection of soccer here at Virginia. It's a good reflection of the support that both programs get from the university. And I think it also speaks to the kind of community we live in here. I think they're such a big part of it that, you know, the atmosphere at our games, at both games, and the kind of, you know, the kind of people that are drawn to our games, they're real knowledgeable soccer fans, and they've been involved with UVA soccer for a long time, both men and women. So that's been kind of neat. I think that's been part of the success of both programs.
What would it mean to the Commonwealth if somehow Virginia and Virginia Tech played in the finals?
Well, I think it'd be a terrific advertisement for Virginia soccer, that's for sure. You know, it's a testament to both programs that they've gotten this far. It's not easy to do. I mean, I give their program all kinds of credit. I think Chugger's done an amazing job with their program, and I think I think you can look at the ACC as well and saying, hey, that's a good reflection of the ACC and how much that's meant to Virginia Tech, you know, in terms of the soccer world. Because I think it's a real coup to be involved at the ACC right now in women's soccer in particular, but I know in men's as well.